Okay, Guruji, go ahead.
Good afternoon, everyone. I, Gaurav Agrawal, Co-Chairman, ASSOCHAM GEM Rajasthan Chapter, welcome all the attendees present here and would like to introduce you all with our webinar topic today, that is New Urbanization Post-COVID-19, a vision for Jaipur for 2050. Today we have amongst us the Chief Town Planner of Government of Rajasthan, Architect R.K. Vijayvargiya Saab, as keynote speaker for the session. I welcome you, sir. I would also like to invite Mr. Pankaj Dhakar, our National President, ASSOCHAM GEM, Architect Tushar Sogani, Chairman, Rajasthan Chapter, Mr. Vinay Joshi, who is Advisor to Rajasthan Chapter and Chairman of Rajasthan Affordable Housing Development Association, Mr. Sudhir Mathur, who is Secretary, Rajasthan Chapter, and last but not the least, Mr. Neeraj Arora, Treasurer of our national body, and I must say he's a driving force with us. So I welcome all the speakers to the webinar. Thank you so much, sir, for joining us. Now I would like to introduce our key speaker, R.K. Vijayvargiya. He graduated in architecture from Maulana Azad College of Technology, Bhopal, now MANIT, in 1981, and has done his post-graduation diploma in urban planning and development with further specialized course in smart city planning and development. Before joining the state government, he worked with various private consultancy firms in Delhi and joined state town planning services as assistant town planner in 1984. During the total tenure of more than 34 years in state town planning services, he has achieved landmarks in organizations where he has been posted. He is actively involved in various important and policy initiatives of the Department of Urban Development, Housing, and local self-government, that is Affordable Housing Policy 2009, Rajasthan Township Policy 2010, Slum Development Policy 2010, I'm sorry, for all the urban areas of Rajasthan, master plans of all the towns of Rajasthan, and I mean, he has been instrumental in promoting Rajasthan initiatives in the urban sector through presentations in various conferences and seminars organized by Government of India, other state governments like Odisha, Maharashtra, Gujarat, etc., etc. Then HUDCO, CREDAI, CII, FICCI, etc., to name a few. In the year 2013, based on his merit, he was amongst the top 20 officers of the state who were shortlisted for selection in IAS from other state services. He has been posted as Chief Town Planner, Department of Local Self-Government, and Chief Town Planner, NCR also. Presently posted as CTP, Government of Rajasthan, Jaipur, with additional charge of Director Town Planning, JDA, that is Jaipur Development Authority, Jaipur. He has been working on all important urban missions of the Government of India, currently working on new urbanization policies in context of recent outbreak of worldwide pandemic COVID-19. So that was a brief as an introduction. I welcome you, R.K. Vijayvargiya Saab, for this session. Thank you so much for being a part of it. Now I would request our chapter chairman, ASSOCHAM GEM Rajasthan Chapter, Architect Tushar Sogani, to address the audience. Over to you, Tusharji.
Thank you, Gaurav. Am I audible?
Yes, very much, sir.
Good morning to all of you. Again, a wonderful webinar hosted by Rajasthan Chapter ASSOCHAM GEM. First of all, I would like to thank my whole team from ASSOCHAM GEM Rajasthan for taking this special webinar away forward with registration of almost 100 participants. I think this is a very good figure. Thanks to Neeraj for this thing. Sir, since Vijayvargiya Saab is attending with the ASSOCHAM GEM program for the first time, so I would just like to bring in a notice that we have got presently 8 chapters pan-India, and in times to come, another next 2-3 months under our dynamic leadership of our President Mr. Pankaj Dharkar, will be having 20 chapters across the country with 3 international chapters. So this is story about Jen, how we have grown up in last 4 5 months. In fact, this pandemic lockdown was a blessing in disguise for us. All of us get together, we work with close cohesiveness, and finally we have come to this stage. And this was one of the organization which has conducted maximum numbers of webinar under our able leadership of our president. As far as Rajasthan is concerned, I think most of us must be knowing who are the members of ASSOCHAM Rajasthan chapter. And just to bring in a kind notice that we have uh, come up with a great dream in Rajasthan with you as a catalyst to put us way forward for our various green movement endeavors. Sir. Just to want to bring in a notice that we are doing a lot of webinars in coming months and coming weeks, basically which is stressing on new construction scenario under new normal conditions, which is definitely a talk of the session. Then we will be conducting a webinar on especially water management, and we are focusing basically on students' activity a lot, sir. Because until and unless we don't cultivate our green building movement at grassroots level, it will be very difficult for us to implement at a later stage. We are the first organization who will be talking about green technologies. People only talk about green architecture, green building, but we will talk about green technology, which our channel partners know playing a very key role, sir. Sir, we are the first organization where we'll have a webinar on new EIA guidelines for 2020. We have done a very vast presentation on that, and at our national level also. So what are the shortcomings, since there was a certain time limit up to June 30th, if I'm not mistaken, we're supposed to give a recommendation. So we played a very vital role in giving suggestion for EIA 2020. And sir, one very interesting program which we have come with at this chapter level is Eco Nivas. If you are able to see this brochure, I'll share this brochure with you, sir. So this Eco Nivas is basically a very small movement for all the house owners, individual house owners. Sir. We have given certain 21 points, very basic points, like use of LED, use of solar panel, which I think most of the things are there in building bylaws. We're talking about green plantation. We are talking about editors putting in the web taps. If they fulfill 15 points by giving an undertaking, we are going to give them a special rating system. Sir. And we are talking with your support, sir. I have already initiated a talk long back with the government also that if we can help it, we can give certain subsidy on unit access imposed by Nagar Nigam. That will be a great. So it will be a great movement for us. So I seek your support for that, sir. It is for the awareness. It has got no commercial value, sir. It's just to bring awareness amongst the honorable citizen of this city, sir. And so we are coming up with a very special newsletter, which, with the permission of our chairman, President Pakasam, every quarterly basis, sir. So this is all about what we are doing at Rajasthan level, sir. And similar activities are being taken up by other chapters in the country. And all our chapters are very full of very energy and zeal, sir. And they are having very innovative and creative programs to create the awareness of green building. And to the audience, I think we at JAM level have been always talking about build form, green building principles at build form level. When I approached CTB Saab and when I have heard his past presentations about the new urbanization with respect to COVID, I think it sparked me, energy sparked me into this. Yeah, I think we should definitely have a webinar at a macro level which talks about the new urbanization in new normal conditions. So thank you very much, sir, for accepting our invitation and come up with a very beautiful subject which is of a very larger interest to most of us. I think in this post-COVID era or post-lockdown situation is a new challenge to all the city and regional planners. There are certain questions coming to our mind. How have cities, how will cities be enabled and contained in this pandemic, sir? How we can expect cities to recover once the pandemic has finished, sir? There are certain questions which we are learning from our experience with the Western countries also. Is there any model at the city level which is pandemic resistant, sir? what type of urban innovation we are expecting or to promote based on our learnings from this COVID. I think, as far as I understand, I have seen certain presentations of Vijay Varghese Saab, which has really sparked all of us, and look forward to have a very fruitful session wherein we are going to take a lot of takeaways with us, and finally we'll stress on conclusions. So look forward to have a very nice presentation from you. And Dharkar Saab is our mentor here, sir. He has been like a catalyst in promoting all our chapters. He put on, he always do a kickstart, he ignite the things, and we sparked, and finally, we try to spread the green movements. This is all from my side. Thank you. Thank you very much. Gaurav, over to you.
You are the, yeah,
Thank you,
you
Tusharji.
share the content.
Yeah. Thank you, Tusharji, for such a crisp welcome address. Now I would like to introduce Pankaj Dharkar Saab to the gathering. Pankaj Dharkarji is founder president of a renowned MEP and green building consulting firm PDA Pankaj Dhakar and Associates, which provide innovative and sustainable design solution in the field of building energy, building engineering services including HVAC, fire and life safety, electrical, lighting, ELV, plumbing, BMS, security, vertical transportation, renewable and green building certification, and has coordinated more than 4,000 projects of various applications. Currently, he is the national chairman of JAM, Council for Green Building Certification Program by ASSOCHAM. Past international president of FSAI, that is Fire and Safety Association of India, and past national president of ISHRE. I welcome you, sir, and I would also like you to introduce JAM program to our master speaker Vijay Varghese. Over to you, sir. Please unmute yourself, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Gaurav, for that introduction. And good afternoon, Jaipur. Thank you, Gaurav, for that introduction. And I'm really delighted to have a dynamic leader at Rajasthan, Mr. Tusharji. We have just heard him. Vijay Varghese, he is not only uh, leading Rajasthan, but also helping GEM program to get promoted to across the country and to the bordering nations. So I'm really blessed with his leadership with GEM. I spoke to Vijay Varghese day for the first time, and I was really delighted to see the passion. So I will be very short because you are awaiting him to speak. But I can assure you, all of you, that it is going to be a wonderful uh, lecture from him this afternoon, and we'll understand his vision, which is very important to Rajasthan, and probably many states will follow this visionary person in coming years. I'm very confident about it. So, sir, GEM is a green and eco-friendly movement. We call it GEM Sustainability Program. It has come to India through ASSOCHAM. We have 400 chambers starting from 1920 with now 4,50,000 members. A lot of people ask us why this new program. We have IGBC, USGBC, Graha. So my answer to them is always that we started green certification program in country in 2000, 2001, and currently we only have 6,500 registered project and certified projects are only 2,500. Now this is a huge gap. 70% of country still needs to be built in by 2030. So you can imagine where we are leading to. So we all believe that with 4,50,000 members, if we are able to create this awareness, we can make a huge difference. We are not competing with any certification program. We are complementing the good work being done by them. But we believe that with ASSOCHAM strength, we can reach to the masses. And today's series is one of that. I'm sure visionary like Sir is going to really help us in future in a big way. So, sir, ASSOCHAM currently is led by Niranjan Hiranandaniji, who is an eminent developer builder from Mumbai. And also, I'm really blessed with his dynamic leadership and support this year. Vineet Agarwalji is our senior vice president, while Mr. Goenkaji was our immediate president, and we are led by Deepak Sood's dynamic leadership in terms of Secretary General. So we are getting all his support for all our infrastructure work, and Neeraj is one of the asset to us, and he's also incidentally from Jaipur. So we have a good support coming from Rajasthan and Jaipur specific. So I'm really be here with the Pink City people today. Friends, ASSOCHAM has taken a green initiative to care Mother Earth and to complement India's sustainability movement, and have formed this GEM Sustainability Certification Program. Our program is very, very simple. It can be understood by any architectural student and engineering student with little bit of study and using common sense. These reference guides are available free of cost. They can be downloaded. They are, sir, completely based on 2017 and NBC 2016. We believe that these two documents are a great compliment which our nation has done to the globe. And this program is completely addressing sustainability, energy, water efficiency, green areas, indoor air quality, daylight, fresh air, and human comfort. But this is, sir, I must mention here again that this is the only program, and I repeat, this is the only program in the globe which addresses fire and life safety. We do believe that buildings certified for energy and indoor air quality have to be efficient, but they have to be also primarily fire and life safety, which was always lagging in any certification program. So this is something which we are doing with pride. Our certification program comprises of 5 rating systems, starting from GEM 1 being the lowest to GEM 5 being the highest, starting from 40 to 0 to 135 point scale. We are in process of revising these point scales post-COVID, because there are many learnings we have learned, and buildings will have not to be energy efficient, fire and life safety by safe, but probably the which the learning is they will have to be infection free also. So some modifications we are tweeting so that there is greater awareness on uh, uh, even the post COVID learnings of life, which is very hard way for all of us. The way we are living today is going to change for all of us, whatever profession he is. Our certain current rating system comprises of several aspects, which starts from housing to urban development to universities and factories, and we are in process of implementing healthcare and the warehousing as two more elements which will soon happen, and we will keep adding as we move forward. The program is very simple, as I said, very affordable, very cheap, and we believe that any certified building will give us payback of 3 to 4 years, while we all know that the buildings are meant for 50 years plus. So we are very confident if anybody implements GEM, he is going to get that payback, which is nominal. Sir, one very important highlight which we felt is important is whatever buildings we are certifying, we are having a command center in Delhi where we are logging the energy consumed in that building, the EPI values, what we commit, we are logging that, what is the water consumption of that building, and what is the indoor air quality. So these are 3 important parameters, and apart from this, if any fire and life safety signal comes, we are going to provide a feedback to the local fire department. So this is something which is very unique. And sir, this is going to come in less than 20,000 rupees to each certified building. And we are also now going aggressively. In a week, we are going to announce a program. Even if it is not GEM certified, and if any building wants to address this, we will be very willing to incorporate this at nominal cost. Whole idea, sir, is that currently nobody has data of certified buildings. It is very unfortunate. Maybe Infosys or TCS or those IT companies, or maybe a Hilton Hotel or ITC Hotel may have. But all these 2,500 certified buildings do not share data. They are not available. if our new generation architects or engineers want to do any research work, they have no data set. So we, through ASSOCHAM GEM, is going to really address this issue through this intention of not only reporting back to the management if the maintenance is going all right, we are improving in terms of power consumption, water consumption. We will be also probably serving the next generation for research and innovation through this calculated and dynamic data. We are working with several societies in the country, which includes ISHRE, FSAI, the Indian Society of Heating Refrigerating Engineers, Fire and Security Association. We have a global society on indoor air quality. IAQA represents that. ASHRE is a world society for air conditioning, where we are working with various chapters in India. Smart Habitat Foundation is an excellent partnership where our own council member Charanjit Singh ji is chairing this. With him, we have come up with huge number of 11 number of seminars already. ISLE is a lighting society for the country, and GACS represents the facility managers. There are 4,500 members in this society who are operating the building, managing the facilities. So we are covering all aspects of engineering services and facility management so that we are able to reach to the people in a bigger way. We do provide certification for the programs and also provide plans, and people are getting honored to really have this and put it in the reception or prominent places. While the certification professionals are given this certification certificates, and we are encouraging all young architects and engineers to go through this exam. These are online 90 minutes exams, which anybody can, using book, can give and qualify this. And for this, we are also doing educational program. And I'm really happy that Neeraj is doing this with a lot of passion. In last 3 to 4 months time, we have covered more than 4,000 students. And we have ensured that hundreds of students qualify these exams. And during COVID, we have also given special concessions. And people who have not attempted this, I will urge, this is online, you must do it. Currently, we have done several certification, which includes pharmaceutical project like Abbott, a cement plant like JK Cement, a electrical giant and electronics company Siemens, to ITC Hotel, to Hilton Hotel, and many universities, which include some important universities from Jaipur itself. During last 1 year, we did several programs. They were physical programs, and huge number of programs were done with hundreds of people always attending. We started with our journey from Chandigarh chapter to Rajasthan. We were blessed with a great program there in Rajasthan to Gujarat. And this year on 4th of June, we did digital installation of our UP chapter, followed by installation of West Bengal chapter, where Honorable Minister, Cabinet Minister for Urban Development, Firhad Hakim ji himself attended. And further, we are going to various chapters. As I mentioned, Tushar ji is leading us in this. I'm really blessed. He has connected us to various dynamic leaders of different states. So in this week, in coming week, we'll be having our Chhattisgarh chapter to Maharashtra chapter to Karnataka chapter, and as he said, 20 chapters by November, and going beyond boundaries also. Some of the programs which were served, we came up with a guideline which went to 29 states and 6 union territories, which were taken out specifically for post-lockdown. How do we start projects, and also the larger projects? There are several MEP challenges, and sometimes if you do not restart properly, you can have events like fire, and it can be hazardous also. This has never happened in a world where the buildings got under lockdown for such a long time. So considering that as an important responsibility, we came up with a very interesting and important document, which is now under use with several governments. And I would also send you this document, sir. Please have a look at it and suggest us if any modification to be done. We have already done version 2 here. We also had a very interesting program last week, where we addressed employability post-COVID era. It's a very serious problem for our young generation. So we addressed this with AICTE and ISHRE as society. which was again, you can see 12,453 registrations happened. Several webinars, as Tusharji was mentioning, were done in this period with interesting subjects, basically with smart habitat. And so this was a very interesting program from Gujarat chapter, like one which is being done from Jaipur chapter. Very interesting program on landscaping. And you can see, sir, here 46,586 attendees in these 3 months with more than 24,271 registration. This is only showing the way our team has been working. These were the programs exclusively for architects with Smart Habitat Foundation. We are going forward with signing MOUs with universities because we believe that young minds have to be nurtured for sustainability. And with that intention, we have targeted 100 universities to be signed with MOUs, and we percolate our sustainability program to them. And every week we are signing 2 to 3 MOUs. I'm blessed with architect Vijay Garg, Mr. Anand Tatu, and several people, including Mr. Naran. Everybody is helping me around the country, and this has been a wonderful experience to go to universities and signing of this. So several people are taking these advantages, and our next professional exam is going to be on 8th of August. So people who will like to appear for exam, please register yourself. And as Tusharji was saying, sir, that this happens to be our centenary celebration. More than 5,000 people attended this important event, which was addressed by Prime Minister with 8 cabinet ministers. So friends, let us take a pledge to create a green and environmentally sustainable country. And thank you again, sir, for joining us today and this afternoon for this session. And we are looking forward for many more sessions from you, sir, in the future. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, Pankaj sir, for briefing us all about the JAM programs and the latest activities which is going on. We had offline events and we are going with online events in this period. Now, not taking much of a time, I would request Vijay Varghese to start his presentation. Before he start, I'll just make a note for everyone. Please put in all your queries and all your questions in question and answer box only, so that it will be easy for us to take your questions by end of the session if chair permits and if we have time for that. Over to Vijay Varghese.
Thank you. Thank you very much. It was very nice to hear Dr. Pankaj Dharkar on the green initiatives that has been taken up by the ASSOCHAM and the JAM. I'm really very happy. And when we talk of new urbanization and vision for any city, the sustainability comes the first subject in our mind. Everything has to be sustained. Whatever the resources are limited. We have to, if we are drawing something from the nature, then we have to give it back also. So through this green movement, I think we'll be able to fulfill our commitment to this planet Earth. And I hope your movement makes this earth pleasant to live. Very nice initiative. And we'll also request to your association that they should make a formal introduction to the government, so that like IGPC and GRIHA, this ASSOCHAM JAM is also included in our building regulations. So to start with my presentation, let's be thankful to since we are in a Corona period. COVID is already there, and everybody is facing this troubled time. Everybody is scared. So we should be thankful to our doctors, our nursing staff, our paramedical staff, our municipal workers who have been keeping our cities nicely maintained, cleaned everything. All dust have been removed. All wastage that is coming from the hospital and even from other quarantine centers, that has been taken care of very well by these people and of course our administration and the political leaders who have shown a really serious committed leadership in this time of crisis. People have been cooperating with the government, and that is why we are not seeing much of a serious problem like in other countries, US and European countries. Going forward, we will discuss, since we are talking on the Jaipur Vision 2050, since the master plan of Jaipur is up to 2025 right now. So we are planning to have a vision for another 25 years. So what the city of Jaipur would be post-COVID, what would be the demography, connectivity, as a world-class city. We have been hearing for last few years that Jaipur would be a world-class city in future, and what kind of cities of future that we envisage, and how Jaipur could connect to those principles, those futuristic ideas, and then Jaipur city, what is the core strength and the perspective overview, people-centric planning approach, concept of various, there are a lot of concepts going on these days, resilient cities, eco-friendly cities, smart cities, heritage cities, sustainable city. And I think the Jaipur has the potential to become all of these. So there could be one word, that is inclusive city, which can include all these concepts. And then, world over right now, the greenfield development is being avoided, and the brownfield development has been taken up for the redevelopment and making that existing areas sustainable, green, energy efficient, etc., etc. And then how we can, look into the future and what should be our vision for. And when we were in COVID era, and we saw, this is the quote which gives us the vision for our cities. Cities in the past were built on riverbanks, and then they were built on highways. But right now and in the future, the cities would be built on availability of optical fiber networks and next generation infrastructure. And we have really experienced this principle of having the internet network during all these lockdown period, because we were not going on the roads, we were not moving around the city, but we were moving on the optical fiber networks only. We were representing ourselves to the country, to the world, to the society. Everybody was connected very well. And today again, we are, sitting, connecting ourselves through this only. So this gives us the idea that how our cities could be developed and how we can visualize our cities to be in the next 25 years. So this is the starting point. And when we look at the past, Rajasthan, where city planning has been a tradition, we see that Jaipur, Jodhpur, Jaisalmer, Udaipur, Bikaner, all these are internationally known for its urban planning and architecture. And we are happy, we are fortunate that we had our rulers of erstwhile princely state who patronized the beautiful planning, the planned cities which had wide roads, excellent infrastructure, recreational areas, public parks. The lot of focus was given on public spaces, not an inch of built up space or the land was wasted on the individual open spaces, but the public spaces were, the large public spaces were created. And Rajasthan is the only state in the country, unlike other states like Maharashtra, Gujarat or UP, where there is no planned wall cities. They had the core areas, but not so planned like we have in Rajasthan, like Jaipur or Jaisalmer or several other cities in our state. And if you look at the normal urbanization process, we find that this urbanization was started through a process of industrialization. Historically, it was connected to the industrialization, and industries needed certain level of infrastructure which was available only in the bigger cities, in the larger cities. Like if we look at in the context of India, the Mumbai, the Bombay at that time, and Kolkata, Chennai, all these cities had, the required infrastructure which promoted industries to be settled there. So all these concentration of industries went to the big cities, and people from small and medium towns, the small urban centers, started moving to those bigger cities. So concentration of people, concentration of population was limited to those big cities. And during this COVID period, we realized that all these big cities suffered a lot. And if you look at the pandemic of 1918, the Mumbai was the worst hit, where almost about 2 crore of people were affected and of course died. In fact, at that time, throughout the country, but Mumbai was the worst hit, and the reason behind that was the overcrowding. Mumbai was the worst in that context. And if we look at the situation right now during this lockdown period, the overcrowding has been the major reason. If you look at Jaipur or Ahmedabad or Bhopal or Delhi or Mumbai, wherever you go, the hotspot created were existing in overcrowded areas. So that gives us an idea how should be our post-COVID cities. And Jaipur is one of the world's great cities. The walled city of Jaipur is first planned city of North India. It was developed in 1727, and even after almost touching 300 years, the city is still surviving. You know that the city was designed for a particular population, having an area of just 6 square kilometer. Now has the population of more than 6 lakh. It is one of the highest density, even touching close to the New York, just 1 lakh persons per square kilometer. That is the highest density of Jaipur, and such a beautifully planned, with such a beautiful infrastructure, and the architecture and planning was such that still it is surviving in spite of so much of population. So, and we are lucky that this Jaipur city was inscribed as UNESCO's World Heritage City just last year on 6th July. That was a great initiative of our government, that they could follow up, they could, press upon the UNESCO to declare our city as a heritage city. So now it has an international tag. So the city is now recognized worldwide as very few cities are, only few structures are recognized as World Heritage Site. But Jaipur is one, fortunate city that after Ahmedabad, Jaipur is the only city in the North India which has got this tag of heritage city. And when we talk of Jaipur heritage city, that it imbibed the values. It is a very inspiring place to live, learn, and work. The people living in the walled city area, they really value community culture and families, the individual this thing approach to the community living, environment and natural amenities, and our built heritage. That is so beautiful that people still value our culture and value our heritage. And as I was discussing about the post-COVID, so there are certain conclusions which we'll have to look into seriously. We'll have to deconcentrate our cities. We'll have to go for mixed-use zoning. The walled city of Jaipur is one city which has the best example of mixed-use zoning. So now, in future, we may have the city's new development as well, which would be developed as a multifunctional zone. We would be avoiding that the cities which are developed, or the expansion of city which takes place in future should avoid single use zoning. That creates an isolation, that creates a lot of other problems. If we build our city like this is the residential area, this is commercial area, this is educational, then we have to travel every time to our workplace, to our home, to the school, to the market, to the religious place. So Jaipur walled city is one example, which is 15, which can be categorized as 15-minute city. Anywhere you can reach within 15 minutes of the time, that too through walking. And we'll have to go for automated solutions in the future. Then we'll have to reduce our physical travel. That is, walk to work and walk to school would be the best solution to this problem. And regaining our overall vision and design, expand the greening of public spaces, public transport, cycling, pedestrians, and other forms of micro mobility that we were, as Mr. Dhakar was also discussing on the green initiatives, not just the green buildings, but the green city, the green township, and the green state. We will have to go for that. Resilient modes of city governance, smarter supply chain management. That was one, successful example which could be given to the citizens, through which a lot of problems were avoided. Otherwise, we would have been in a very, very great trouble. We had the best of the supply chain management in our state, in our city. So, and we'll have to, avoid large built-up areas, and we'll have to make our city wherein our streets are just walkable and flexible work options also. So that was a kind of, and when we are discussing on the post-COVID cities, we'll have to refer to the sustainable development goal that is given by United Nations. There are 17 of those sustainable goals, out of which few are really relevant to our today's context, which is good health and well-being, industry, innovation and infrastructure, sustainable cities and communities. So, and the climate action. So all these are also directly related to and directly relevant to the green movement which we are talking of. So, and if we try to look at the demography of the Jaipur, we are now moving towards 10 million city. If we there are several methods of population projections. One is growth rate method, other is arithmetic method. So through growth rate, wherein there are certain incentives given to the city, there are certain natural factors which makes the city attracting people coming from the outside. People migrate to these cities, looking to the infrastructure available, looking to the economic opportunities, looking to various other quality of life options. So Jaipur would be the best city which would attract a lot of people from outside. And I hope we project that by 2050 we'll be touching 10 million, definitely. So, and if you look at the other mode of population projection, it comes to about 6 million. That is 61 lakh. But that is arithmetic. That is natural. 3% of the 3% population is added naturally every year without any focus, without any much migration. So that if you look at the natural growth also, we'll be touching to almost about 60 to 65 lakhs by 2050. But if we look, if we are considering the futuristic model, and when we are developing so much of infrastructure, we are coming up with heritage city, we are coming up with smart city, we are coming up with green city. So Jaipur would be the most attractive place to settle. A lot of people are moving. We have a data that people from the surrounding towns, like from Sikar, Dosa, or Chaksu, Tonk, and even from the Ajmer, they are moving to Jaipur for looking for the better quality of life, better health infrastructure, better education for their children. So a lot of opportunities are available. And when we are talking of Jaipur, then it has very good connectivity also. There are 3 national highways passing through the city, and we are of course fortunate that Jaipur is also recognized as a counter magnet city of national capital region. Because when we were designing this national capital region plan concept, there were several options available. One option was to have the contiguous area within the national capital region, so that large amount of population is diverted to those contiguous area like Gurgaon in Haryana or Alwar, Bhiwadi in Rajasthan, or Ghaziabad in UP. But there was another concept that we should avoid expansion of national capital territory to an unlimited size. So the concept of counter magnet city was also envisaged, so that there could be there could be several cities which are at a very convenient distance from the national capital, and could take up certain economic activities, and could take certain population which were otherwise coming to the national capital, were settled to those counter magnet areas. So Jaipur is fortunate in that. And if you look at the development pattern of Jaipur, this geographical setting of our city is that there is a physical barrier on east and immediate north side. So the walled city, which is this 6 square kilometer, this expanded toward the west and south. This is how the major residential colonies have grown in the western, south, and northwestern part of the walled city. Walled city being the central business district and still remaining the same. It is the major economic activities are existing in walled city area only. We try to transfer certain economic activities from the walled city, but the concept of central business district within the walled city remains as it is till today. So, and if you look those who are resident of Jaipur, they know what kind of road network we have in our cities. It is just north, south, and east west corridor. So it's a very typical, peculiar two-dimensional development which has resulted more traffic on 3 arterial roads. That is, Tonk Road, Ajmer Road, Delhi Road, Sikar Road. These are the 3 roads which has catered to the much of the traffic and much of the city expansion. And if you look at the evolution, if we look at the first master plan, that was just 64 square kilometer. That the horizon year was in 1991, and then second master plan, which lasted up to 2011, and which had only 200 square kilometer. And now the master plan which we have today is almost about 3,000 square kilometer. And if you compare it with other major cities of the world, the London is just 1,500 square kilometer, New York is almost touching 800, Singapore is just 700. And just compare, if you compare that, how the big our Jaipur has been, how big our Jaipur has come, what is the limit of the city. We have almost 3,000 square kilometer, which is just unimaginable for those city planners who are working in Singapore. I was part of delegation when I made a presentation on Jaipur. They were surprised that how can you manage such a big city? You're so efficient that you are managing such a big city. And if you look at the surrounding, we have 16 satellite towns. So when we talk of 2050 vision, we have lot of opportunities to be developed in and around Jaipur. We have 16 major satellite towns which could be developed as a growth pole, which can deconcentrate our core area, our highly congested areas, and the overcrowded areas like Achrol, Bagru, Chomu, Jauta, Kalwar, Kanota, Pachar, Jobner. These are very beautifully planned cities which could act as a satellite to our cities. And we'll have to go for infrastructure development in satellite towns as well, make them, like a good city, having all kinds of social and physical infrastructure. And this could, if we develop those satellite towns as a growth pole, we can re-densify our residential areas, existing residential areas. We have to create a lot of public spaces. We have to create a lot of organized markets in those areas. So we already have the sufficient area. 3,000 square kilometer is not such a small area for a city to be developed, city to be envisaged for next 50 years. So we have sufficient area within our Jaipur development region. If we, make the balanced regional development, wherein we decongest our core areas, take the satellite towns to our next level of development, provide sufficient infrastructure there, so that and provide adequate public transport connectivity to those cities, and make them self-contained towns with good technological facilities there, like good internet, good other services. So we would not have much of problem after so much of development. So and as we were discussing, we have to make those satellite towns as a balance, having agriculture as well as the urban development. And when we are talking of the Jaipur region, it consists of almost more than 700 villages. So there are few villages which could be developed as a nodes, wherein the, the services which our Jaipur city requires, like the cultivation, the farming, the agriculture, the vegetables, the fruits, and other these kind of services. If we make a balanced plan, then and use our resources like wastewater, for example, if we can create a mechanism that the wastewater is treated and given back to our rural areas, our villages within the JDA region, so that the treated water, which has the best nutritive values for plants and agriculture, then that could act as an asset. If we can bring water for our drinking purposes from the Bisalpur, why can't we supply the treated water from our treatment plants like Delavas or Jaisingpura, wherever these are? These are very, very large sewage treatment plants. So to make them, sustainable, urban as well as rural connectivity, we have to create a mechanism wherein both the sectors are dependent on each other. They provide, they supplement each other through various level of facilities. So, and there are certain advantages. The DMIC, Delhi Mumbai Industrial Corridor, almost about 40% of the area is passing through the Rajasthan. So there are a lot of opportunities for industries, industrial areas, investment regions, various kinds of manufacturing and trading hubs. So if we envisage our Jaipur, our state capital at 2050, we'll have to consider this. Right now, not much of potential has been tapped of this investment, this growth concept. But in future, I think we'll have to go for it seriously. So there would be a lot of prospects out of this DMIC. We could have cyber city, business district, export-oriented industrial units within our Jaipur, or to the surroundings like Ringas or several other district headquarters or big cities very close to Jaipur. And but we'll have to go for specialized industrial estates. We have a lot of potential for gems and jewelry park. We have a lot of potential for food parks, free enterprises zone, as I was talking about. That we'll have to make our city like wherein people are free to do their business without much of intervention of any government organization. If I want to go for a hotel, I should be given a lot of flexibility, a lot of ease, so that I can start my business. And another big advantage we are going to have is regional rapid transport system. The government of India has already approved the project of RRTS from Delhi to Alwar. So state government is focusing that that corridor, RRTS corridor, is extended up to Jaipur. So then, if we could do that, the RRTS would provide high speed connectivity to Delhi, and the travel time could be much less than 90. Right now we are taking almost 3.5 hours, but it could come down to 1 or 1.5 hours. So that would act as a very good potential good concept to make our Jaipur economically viable. So Jaipur would also act as a world-class city through all these concepts. Ample resources we have. We have a lot of minerals in and around Jaipur, and of course, being the capital, it has a lot of advantage. Then what we need is that we must, make our cities livable. There are a lot of concepts which we have to adopt, like transit-oriented development. We have to make our cities which are child-friendly and friendly to our senior citizens. We have to make our cities like an eco city, which are resilient, clean, green, and healthy environment. And then it also acts as a regional economic center. So all these concepts could be, really implemented through association like ASSOCHAM, and when we work together as a team, all these stakeholders work hand in hand with the government, we get a lot of ideas, we get a lot of projects, we get a lot of solutions, we get a lot of hand-holding support, wherein our ideas could be implemented on the ground through the people like you only. And when we are, talking about Jaipur, it is already a smart city. So how city can be smart? The key indicators are that we have to make our people smart, our economy smart, our governance smart, and a lot of other options like smart mobility. We have to improve our institutional infrastructure. We have to improve our various other infrastructure facilities. And how we could do that, there is a blueprint. A lot of ideas are already in pipeline. Jaipur being an heritage city, we have to, make the entire city as a heritage and as a continuous concept of heritage, being a heritage city, walled city. So we have to have a lot of new, interventions like collecting a data. We don't have right now. We don't have much of the information about walled city. What kind of people are living there? What kind of heritage, intangible or tangible activities they are, they have the skill. We have to have a very good data management where we could connect people, their tangible and heritage asset, to the rest of the world. If we are, when we are talking of 2050, we have to start from that level to the global level, and it can also become a sustainable city, environment friendly. We have to go for a holistic approach. We have to use the green movement, which JAM has already started. So we'll try that we make our city as a sustainable city, and of course making the people also feel that it is my city, it is my responsibility to make our city clean, green, and healthy. So, what actions we need? There are a lot of detailed points, but I think we can discuss individually. A lot of points, a lot of action points. We have to make our cities smart city, heritage city, resilient city. But finally, it has to become an inclusive city, which is accessible, resilient, affordable, and sustainable. These are the major points which makes the city inclusive. And then Jaipur as a compact city, we don't want that it expand to an unlimited size. Compact means that city of short distance. It is also an emerging concept throughout the world, wherein people could move. People do not have to use their transportation. People just have to walk to their work, walk to their school. So that kind of compactness we need to create. And then we need to, there are two concepts. One is greenfield and another is brownfield. We are already aware of the greenfield, but the important aspect, which important concept is brownfield redevelopment. We have a lot of, urban land which has good infrastructure, but the land is not utilized to its optimum use. For example, there is a big complex on Tonk Road, Nehru Place commercial complex. It is a very low profile. It's about almost about 25,000 square meter, but the built-up area ratio in comparison to what the potential is very low. So we could redevelop that complex and make it a world class. So there could be several other sites which could be taken up for redevelopment and make them a green area, make them redevelop those green area instead of constructing new buildings or new campus or new town. It is always better that we redevelop certain areas, certain pockets of the cities which has more potential, more built up areas, and has a potential of accommodating more people within that. But we need to simultaneously we need to create a mechanisms that whenever we take up redevelopment, it is with the concept of making them green only. We have to insist that redevelopment should create a green township, green campuses. So there are several methods which redevelopment can take up. Those abundant properties are there are several campuses, like there can be some institutional, there can be some hospital, there could be any residential township developed by housing board or any UIT, which has a high value in terms of prices, the land prices. So people can be motivated to pool their land and tie up with a developer who could take up redevelopment of those township to vertical green city. So that concept would give us good vision for 2050. So what we need to take up is that we need to create sustainable neighborhoods which has better connectivity with each other. Like, for example, right now we have transportation along the major arterial road, but we don't have interconnectivity of various neighborhoods. Like if the person wants to go to Vaishali Nagar from Mansarovar, he does not have that good connectivity to those neighborhoods. So we need to create a very good connectivity between the various neighborhoods and to the and then the land use management, the growth management. The city has to have a balanced approach towards its land use pattern, protect existing owner-occupied housing, and encourage an increased percentage of owner-occupied or long-term residence housing. When we are, discussing on these kinds of approaches of land use and neighborhoods, we came up with three, findings that there are three kinds of choices which people opt for when they want a housing. One is the people who wants to live with their own family, with their own brothers and sisters in an existing surroundings, having a small size plot. They would construct extra floor on their small size of plot. So that kind of approach is when the people are interested to live with their own family, with their own community. And second category of people is that the people who wants to live with the community, but not opting for living with their own family, with their own, those who know them very well, but uh, they want to live with another kind of group, another kind of like-minded community. So that promotes group housing and flat culture. And third category is the people who wants to live close to the nature, those people who wants to remain with their own self, so they prefer for eco-friendly or farm housing. So we are trying to bring a mechanism so that all these segments are satisfied. All these three major segments has their uh, facilities to be converted into real kind of housing. So so, and then, of course, all neighborhoods should have, all cities, all the Jaipur should have a lot of recreation and parks. Very common facility everybody desires, and everybody, likes to live with the natural resources in spite of all odds and even situations. People like to visit gardens, visit natural resources. So we have to sustain our natural resources. We have to create more and more such beautiful sites so that people could have better quality of life. We have to conserve our groundwater. We have to recharge our water bodies, recharge our groundwater. So that would only solve the problem of sustainability. And of course, the Jaipur has the best of heritage. So we have to create a mechanism wherein people from that segment, the local community, they are given the better scope, better exposure to their products. So and then only we can create a city with a prosperity. So we have to. It is a capital of Rajasthan, so we have to maximize our potential for business and recreational. Jaipur city will maintain well-functioning transportation and will also encourage the development of various types of housing stocks. As I was discussing, there are three types of requirement the people have, and also high quality commercial development, develop business facilities and locations. So all these kinds of options available, the various proposals we need to create, we need to implement on the ground. Then only we could have the safe, sustainable, resilient, and inclusive city. So this was a brief presentation. Lot of I have lot of slides, but I think the most relevant I have already presented, and I think I have given the sufficient idea that how could we have the city of our Jaipur, uh, which would be what we visualize, and how we look at our city, that after 30 years it will be more multimodal and less resilient on cars. It should promote walking, traditional urban principles of mixed use, walkability, density, suburban developments. It should not be standalone cities. And then uh, we could also have flying vehicles by 2050. Nobody knows what kind of technology we could develop, we can develop. So and if you look at the architecture of 2050, it's there's no limit. The sky is the only limit for architecture, for the technology, for the innovations, and for the people to develop. So that was all from my side. I hope my presentation could give some fire to the young minds, to the professional minds, and we'll have much more discussion on that. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, sir. I must say, what a wonderful session it was. And thank you for sharing your insight with us. And I believe that it's an eye opener for all of us. And It will give us an homework to think and act for our Jaipur. I must say, our own Jaipur.
Yes.
Thank you so much, sir. And I'll just put down certain points. You have very well said about developing connectivity, especially the internet connectivity for everyone. Of course, that's the need of time because many of us are working from home. Our business is going on online. Our education system is going online. So that's very well taken, sir, and very well noted. You have talked about decentralization. Yes, it is a need of time, and we have to really work hard on it. Um, and one thing from the session today, I have also realized that Jaipur has such a strong legacy because in spite of any river we have or we are on a main highway, still Jaipur has stood itself and is still sustaining on its own. Thank you for bringing that to our notice, sir. You have talked about public transport, clean public spaces, supply chain system, better automated solutions. Wonderfully taken, and we have noted it down, sir. Your SDG points number 3, 9, 11, and 13 that has been noted down, sir. And sharing blueprint for 2050 Jaipur. And we believe that with you, sir, we are in safe hands. Thank you so much, sir. It is always exciting and thrilling to hear you. And I personally have witnessed it a couple of times. And I appreciate your vision for all of us. That is what I can say.
Before you proceed further, I would like to thank Vijay Varghese sir that you have talked so. There was a eye of positiveness in our this thing that GEM people will officially come to you, will share our programs with you, and we seek all the support for GEM at ministerial level. So thank you so very much, sir. It was indeed work like that, sir.
Yeah, indeed, sir, indeed. And now I would like to invite Vinay Joshi ji, and who is an advisor to us to Jam Raisan chapter. And I'll just introduce him briefly so that he can converse, he can take this session forward and converse with Vijay Varghese Saab. So as I was saying, he's an advisor to ASSOCHAM Jam Raisan chapter, and he's a chairman Raisan Affordable Housing Development Developers Association. A man who has started his life in Calcutta, the city of joy, has reached to the pink city, that's Jaipur. And he is educated from St. Thomas Boys School, Kolkata initially, then in Children's Academy, Jaipur, and attended Commerce College in Jaipur. So he is very much a Jaipur person only. In his endeavors to do something different, again an idea was broke to took its shape as affordable housing. The brand Wish Empire, headed by his gentleman, became the first in the country to develop housing for urban poor under PPP mode. Raisan is pioneer in affordable housing, and Wish Empire became the first brand to sign the agreement. The project, comprising 512 apartments of EWS, LIG, and MIG A category, was delivered within time. This gentleman is none other than Mr. Vinay Joshi. He is chairman of Raisan Affordable Housing Developers Association. He is associated with many trade associations in ASSOCHAM, CII, Kradai, Rajasthan, Todar, and Porti, to name some few. And I would invite Vinayji to come forward and be in conversation with Vijay Varghese. Vinayji, thank you so much.
Namaste to all, and thank you, Gauravji, to now call upon me to converse with Mr. R.K. Vijayvargiya. He's like elder brother to me, and he has always supported me in my thinking about urbanization in Jaipur and development. And I'm thankful to ASSOCHAM, Pankaj Dharkar ji, Neeraj ji, and my friend architect Tushar Sogani, who has given me this opportunity to converse in this such a reputable organization, conduct this webinar with Mr. R.K. Vijayvargiya, who is our chief town planner of Rajasthan. Sir, I welcome you, Mr. Vijayvargiya, I welcome you here on this platform to converse with me, and this is really my good luck that today I am talking to you in front of so many people on this webinar. Sir, I'm thankful to you personally and on behalf of all the organizations with which I'm connected. You have made such a wonderful master plan for Jaipur to become a world-class city. Sir, with your thoughts, with your working, and with our endeavor, developers' endeavor, it is really going to be a world-class city in coming years. And what I envisage that the population growth which you have shown in your charts and the planning which you have shown what you have made for Jaipur city will not match, because the planning which you have made will attract much larger population to settle down in Jaipur, and it will surpass all your numbers. So Jaipur is going to be a very big city in coming future, and these numbers will be achieved very shortly. What I think because you have planned for futuristic transport system also, that is hyperloops and flying cars and everything. So we'll be doing wonderful job in Jaipur, and we'll be doing so many good things. Sir, I have a question for you. Once you plan for a developed city, we have never seen a road planning for our city like other developed areas. Like Delhi has changed itself in last 20 years. It has a more fluidic type of where the cars get parked in a systematic way, where they where people lanes, and they have a sufficient uh, area to breathe around in the parking in the driving system. Sir, what do you think about this?
Oh, that's a good observation. When you make a plan, the structure of the plan is very important. And structure consists of road network, because it is only the road which provides connectivity to the inner parts of any new development, any land. So what is happening today is that development is taking place only on the existing roads where that was developed 20 to 25 years back. But fortunately, Jaipur is one of the cities which has very good road network, very wide roads. And Delhi, what you were discussing, you gave an example of Delhi. Delhi Development Authority started with the land acquisition model. So it acquired a lot of land area within that DDA region, which Jaipur could not. You know, but now we are coming up with various policy initiatives. Though it is from the support of the developers, like the township developers associations and various other developers. Whenever they come up with a proposal, they surrender the land which is coming up within the road area. So it's a plus point for JDA that they are getting the land which is coming up within the road area, comes to authorities without any cost. But now we are we are planning that we incentivize uh, the landowners so that they surrender their land within the road area, like transferable development rights, or giving them the development rights certificate, having the remaining land is given mixed use zoning, higher FARs, etc., etc. So I think that importance of road network has been recognized now by the authorities, and they would certainly bring up with a good solution on this aspect also.
Thank you, sir. We would love to see the development of roads and its parking areas and driver. I mean, fluidic drivability in the future. One more question, sir. We have several industrial areas within the city.
Yeah.
They were planned when the city was really small, like Bais Godam area, Malvinagar industry area, Vishwakarma. You have not talked about the shifting of these industrial areas to some other place where we can where we can unlock the huge land parcel for futuristic development.
No, I think the presentation on which I was discussing was a much at a broad scale. So, but the concept which I have, given is redevelopment, the brownfield development. That is the subject on which you are talking. Uh, the example which I gave you was the optimum utilization of Nehru Place. So there could be beautiful examples created out of like industrial area of Bais Godam, Sudarshanpura industrial area that could be developed in a world-class township. Those industries can be shifted outside, and fortunately we have a policy wherein private sector is also coming up with industrial areas. So it gives me an idea to suggest to the higher authorities that we could tie up with private industrial area developers as well, that they can accommodate the industries being proposed to be shifted from these existing areas like Malvinagar industrial area or Bayezgodam industrial area or whatever the area which is close to the city and is not a good idea to have those industries within the wall within our city area. So those industrial areas could get good clientele. They can offer the land to them, and then we can redevelop these areas into a beautiful vertical cities having a lot of open spaces, a lot of recreational areas, and good open spaces, good parking areas. So these could be re-densified like several other countries have done. Last year I visited that a city in Manchester. That was an abandoned industrial town where the prominent developer of England, he redesigned that area into a mixed-use city wherein residential, commercial, hotels, and everything is already there. Even the policing is also given by the developer. It is a self-contained township which has been developed by that developer. It is only the public transportation which has been provided by the authority, the combined authority there. So they are providing only the peripheral infrastructure like water supply, sewerage, drainage, power, and public transportation. Otherwise, everything is being managed. But a similar concept can also be brought in here, wherein some good developer comes up with an idea, and he could tie up with those existing owners, shift those industries outside to those private industrial areas. So he also gets a market there, and it's a win-win situation for each other. So the brownfield redevelopment is the concept wherein your idea could be implemented.
You have shown that in comparison to London, New York, or other cities, Jaipur is far bigger than these cities. So we have been developing an extrovert approach. Do you think if we develop such a big city, we need so much to invest into the city, and we will have such a large amount of population to fill it. So instead of being extrovert, we should be introvert, and we must limit the city development area.
Yeah, that was my suggestion also that we already have 3,000 square kilometers, so we don't need to expand our limits. Even even while revising our plan beyond 2025. Right now, the present plan is expiring in 2025. So when we are planning
Yes, sir.
for 2050, we can accommodate the projected population within 2050. Initially, your remark was that we could have much more larger population coming to Jaipur.
Yeah.
you know, that's that's always there. Whatever we envisage, whatever we predict, it always fails. Because there are certain economic activities which are coming up regularly. Like if for example this DMIC is implemented successfully in next 5 years, then Jaipur could reach 1 crore population by 2030, even much before than what I was projecting in 2050. So limiting the city is always the better, and the compact city idea it drives from that concept only, that we should limit our city within the self-contained zone, even the cities within the cities. Like for example, Pratap Nagar is there, Vaishali Nagar is there. These are city within the city, so they should become a self-contained zone, having all kinds of infrastructure within those cities, so that people who are living in those city within a city do not have to move to another part of the city for their daily requirement, or even for their job, or even for their business. So that kind of concept we'll have to come up with, and we'll have to implement. We have to. That is why the brownfield redevelopment will act as a very, very important tool in converting our ideas, into implementation on ground.
Sir, a very last question.
Yeah.
What do you think of city? Vertical or horizontal? What it will be, Jaipur like? Vertical or horizontal?
Right now the city is developing like this. When we go out, we see vertical development outside the city, wherein it has to be like this. It has to be
Yeah.
a pyramid shape. The vertical
Yes.
close to the core areas wherein we have sufficient infrastructure. People are close to their workplace, close to business. So when we are discussing about the compact city, then we'll have to go for a vertical city wherein vertical development comes close to the city, and the greenfield development, which is new expansion, new area, is low profile and low density development. So
So,
so the concept which I was discussing, there are three kinds of segments. One, the people who likes to live with their family, close to their family, the people who likes to live in a group, and people who likes to live close to the nature. So if we have this pyramid, then all these segment, all these the categories can get their requirements fulfilled. So it has to be
so sir,
vertical, but right now it is a reverse vertical. It is vertical outside, but it has to be vertical inside.
sir,
Introvert. That is why.
right, sir. So when you are planning about pyramidical shape of a building, and then we talk about the pinnacle, the top of the pyramid, height you think we should go in coming future? Because once the developers goes with the authority to get the height permission, we always get the answer that we do not have a snorkel ladder, and we cannot extinguish the fire at after a particular level. But I must say you on this open platform that there is no snorkel ladder in the world which can extinguish fire on uh, Burj Khalifa.
Yeah.
So, sir, we do not have such large snorkel ladders in the world. So, once we plan for a vertical growth, we need to
Yeah.
come out of this thinking that every time we need a snorkel ladder.
You have raised a very right question, that since we do not have because we do not have a snorkel ladder, we are not permitting uh, much height of the building. But that's one part of whole issue. There are several other issues. The important issue is that we need to make our developers and our construction agencies aware of all these kind of safety measures. Right now, we do not have. We are going vertical. Vertical does not mean that we go 30-meter or beyond. Vertical may be 18-meter, 24-meter, but people do not follow the safety measures in toto. There's no 100% compliance. There are several failures in implementation of safety measures. People, avoid following those compliances. So right now we have to, we have to grow in several phases. If we go back in 1989 bylaws, the maximum height was 21 meter, and the normal height was 14 meter, even below 15 meter. But we came with 1996 bylaws, then we came with 2000 bylaws, then with 2013. Now we are coming up with 2020 bylaws. So we have, you know, we have removed the limits, height limits, but of course we have to grow in phases. Once we grow mature to that level that we follow all safety measures, then we can have the building of any height, even more height to Burj Khalifa or any other building in the world. But we have to create our facilities, our mechanism to that level of efficiency. Then only we should go for it. You can't you can't make a child bird fly into the sky. It has to get mature so that it can face the ambience. So that kind of situation we are in right now. We are already on the transit stage wherein we are moving height up to 60 meters, or even I think there are two buildings which are higher than 60 meters as well. So we'll don't worry, we'll touch the sky in near future. What the last slide I showed the architecture of 2050. I think Tushar would be the first architect to have that kind of skyscraper in Jaipur.
Yes, sir. Just after that slide, this question came to my mind. And one more thing, sir. What about pedestrian in where a child or a person can move independently?
Yeah, that's a very, very serious concern for us as a citizen, as an authority, as a planner. We have to create an awareness that the footpaths are important part of our road. The road is not just for the cars or other automobiles. It has to be shared by non-motorized transport. It has to be shared by the pedestrian. It has to be used safely by the children and senior citizens. So we have to initiate this. Earlier we had good footpaths in our wall city and outside the wall city also, but looking to the requirement of the traffic on the roads, we gave priority to the automobiles. All throughout the world, the concept was the same. The automobiles were given the first priority, but now it is a reverse gear. A lot of European countries have given priority to the pedestrian, and the government of India is also now promoting this idea that there was a survey done by the government of India, livable city, and the marking given to the cities consisted of one important element: how much pedestrianized your city is, how good the share of footpath in the city is. So Jaipur Jaipur, of course, the wall city has good footpath, but outside there is no much of facilities. But definitely we are going towards that we should have equal share of the road by every user, the pedestrian, the cyclist, and the motor car.
Sir, one more thing. With your vision in my mind, I would love to see in future that my children or anybody else's children, north to south or east to west, without any fear of being hit by traffic and getting a very great development for the city.
Yeah,
Now, sir,
that's a very positive statement from your side. Yeah.
talked about.
Sorry, I could not hear your.
Sorry, sir. I think we have a
I think
problem in the
Gaurav ji,
network. So my voice is breaking, or side, your voice is breaking. So there is some
Yeah,
problem in the
Gaurav ji, I
network.
think
So I'll repeat my.
Vinayji, I think there's a connectivity issue with you.
so
I think there's a connectivity issue with your place, Vinayji.
Connected with my broadband. Let me check it once again,
so
please.
I
Yeah,
think,
yeah.
and Vinayji, if you don't mind, shall we take the session forward because it's already 1:40? With your
Yeah,
due
can you hear me?
permission.
yes.
Yeah. Can you hear me now? Is it
Yes,
clear?
Vinayji.
Okay. Okay.
Vinayji, I was requesting you, can we take this session forward because it's already 1:40 and we have a few more things lined up.
Yeah, yeah. Why not? Why not?
Thank you so much.
It
I'm
was
really sorry.
nice. It
I'm
was
really
nice to our CTP Sahab, Shri R.K. Vijayvargiya ji. And sir, thank you for answering all my questions.
that was a very interesting presentation.
and now I would request all the panelists to help me in extending our token of respect and appreciation to Architect R.K. Vijayvargiya sir.
Thank you.
Amitji, thank you so much, sir.
Thank you.
The hard copy will reach you soon, sir.
Thank you.
Please accept this on our behalf in this online mode only.
Thank you so much.
Now I would quickly request Neeraj ji to come forward, step forward, and announce future JAM programs which are lined up.
Yes, yes.
Amit ji,
Thank you,
can I have
Gaurav
an introduction slide of Neeraj ji? वैसे he doesn't need any kind of an introduction, but for audience, let me do this formality for that. Neeraj ji, just a minute, bear with us. Amit ji, can we have the slide?
Yes, he is doing. So, meanwhile, thank you so much, Vijayvargiya Saab. It was really a wonderful presentation by you because I was looking at the chat box and question box. So I was receiving many compliments for the presentation, especially. And on behalf of audience, I would like to share that they want your presentation. They were asking for me to share your presentation. So
Yeah, you
I
can.
told that.
Yeah, I'll share it on the email. It's a very huge presentation, so I'll have to transfer it through some other mode. It's larger than 25 MB, which we can mail. So,
Sir,
but I'll share the compressed copy with you.
Yeah. Sir, while looking at your presentation, I mean, really, it was wonderful to see that really government and the related departments are doing so much of efforts to improving the quality of life in our cities.
Yeah.
So because outside this, I mean, we never knew this. So after seeing your presentation, we got to know about this. And Vinay Joshi ji, your questions were really very much to the point because I was getting the compliments on the chat box regarding this also. So,
thank you so much. Thank you.
Yeah. Amit, please move to the next slide. I would like to announce two programs, our upcoming programs. So this is as a procedure, what we do is we announce our next programs in our webinars. So next on Wednesday, 29th of July, we are going to do a wonderful program on landscape illumination, which is celebration of Nature's Night. So we are doing this program with FSCI, ISLE, and Bajaj Lightings. So this is going to be a wonderful program, and this is on 29th July. So I would request all the audience and speakers to please join us for this program. Next, Amit. Next, ASSOCHAM conducting students and architects, engineers on GEM certified professional examinations because ultimately they are going to be our volunteers and going to certify the buildings GEM rated, green rated. So we are conducting a training on GEM certification program. And after this training, we conduct the online examination for the students also. We have a wonderful web portal for online examination. We are going to conduct this on 8th of August, which is Saturday again. So we have already got more than 600 registrations for this training and examination. And we have eminent speakers with us, Anand Tatuji from Gujarat, Ahmedabad. We have Mr. Kostop from ISLE. We have speakers from ISLE. We have speakers from Institution of Engineers and eminent speakers from the industry also. So this is again going to be a wonderful program on 8th August. So please join us for that. And after the program, we provide a certificate to the successful candidates. Next slide, please. We provide a certificate to the successful candidates on clearing the examination for GEM certified professional. This is the certificate we provide to the students. Thank you so much, Gaurav ji. Thank you so much, Amit. Thank you so much, all the speakers. Over to you, Gaurav ji.
Thank you, Neeraj ji. We have really given you a very short time for that.
No problem.
Thank you for bearing with us. Now, last but not the least, I would request Mr. Sudhir Mathur ji, our Honorable Secretary, ASSOCHAM GEM Rajasthan chapter, to step forward and put his vote of thanks. I would quickly introduce Sudhir ji. He's an engineering graduate from MNIT, Malwa National Institute of Technology, has over 30 years of experience in the field of HVAC, electrical, fire and plumbing. He has been responsible to look after all the engineering aspects of building projects, an expert to core and one of the brains behind Shrestha, the MEP consulting organization, has deep understanding of building services. He has been associated with the largest commercial projects and many renowned hospitals and hotels of Rajasthan. And I think he has so many laurels to him. He has been first president and chairman for all the major professional societies. It may be ISHRE, FSAI, IPA, that's Indian Plumbing Association Rajasthan. Presently, he is serving as secretary of GEM ASSOCHAM Rajasthan chapter. A very humble human being and passionate about singing, that I must add in the end. Most welcome, Sudhir ji.
Thank you, sir. Thank
Over
you.
to you.
Yeah, thank you, Gaurav ji. We have so many passionate singers on this panel. Darkar Saab is another, passionate music lover. Thank you very much. I would like to thank all the attendees who have spared their precious time for this afternoon session. First of all, I would like to thank again R.K. विजयवर्गीय साहब, आपको बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद सर, आप पधारे और ये हमारे एसोचैम जैम के प्रोग्राम को आपने सभी लोग इतने मंत्रमुग्ध होके आपका पूरा प्रेजेंटेशन देख रहे थे. We are getting lot of appreciation and lot of thanks for this particular program on our chat. I would like to thank our National President Dharkar Saab for being here with Rajasthan chapter. I would like to also thank our own president who actually initiated this particular program. I would like to thank Abhishek ji, who has our program chair, who really coordinated the whole effort with our national team. I would like to thank विनय जी, आपने बहुत ही सुंदर तरीके से हमारे सवालों को पूछा, उसके लिए आपका बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद.
Thank you.
You really raised the real questions and सर ने भी बहुत ही अच्छे तरह से ये सारे सवालों के जवाब दिए. I am thankful to you. I thank none other than Mr. Gaurav ji, who has gracefully taken this session to a very wonderful end. I would like to thank Neeraj ji, who has always been there for GEM, ASSOCHAM and various programs of our GEM. I would like to thank Amit from ASSOCHAM Delhi, who has nicely conducted and taken care all the connectivity issues. With that, I would like to thank Smart Habitat Foundation, who are our associates. I would like to thank FSI and GACS for associating with us in this wonderful session. With this, I would like to, thank the whole team which has, conducted this particular session. And we wish all of you again in our next JAM programs. Thank you very much. Have a nice weekend.
We look forward for many sessions like this to come up in our kitty.
Thank you so much.
To everyone and one and all. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir.
Nice day. Stay safe, stay happy, stay healthy.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you.